Okay, so let's dive into some UFO talk.
Yeah.
I know you guys out there are fascinated by this,
Right.
especially with all the recent news.
Absolutely.
It really wasn't that long ago
Uh-huh.
that if you even mentioned UFOs, you were labeled a
Pagan.
conspiracy theorist.
Joy.
But now things seem to be changing.
Yeah.
We've got NASA.
Yeah.
They've got a whole team now studying this stuff.
I know.
The Pentagon is even releasing statements.
Right.
Things are definitely changing.
Yeah. It really is a dramatic shift.
It is.
You know, we've gone from like whispers in the shadows to official acknowledgement that there are things up there.
Yeah.
And we just can't explain it.
Yeah, I don't know if they are.
And you know what? Even if some of these turn out to be some kind of advanced technology that humans have developed, I mean, that in itself raises some really big questions.
For sure. Like, what have they been working on?
Exactly.
But let's dig into some of these recent sightings that have everybody buzzing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that case down in Texas back in April.
Yeah.
Where a whole town witnessed this triangular formation of lights just silently hanging in the air.
Oh, wow.
People described it as an eerie quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Which to me makes it even more strange.
It is unsettling.
It is.
And then you've got that Navy pilot footage off the coast of California that the Pentagon confirmed was real.
Yeah.
It wasn't just cameras. They caught these objects on multiple sensors.
Wow.
They were doing these zigzagging maneuvers, sudden stops and starts and moving at speeds with a maneuverability that is beyond anything we can build.
Anything we're capable of?
Some of those maneuvers
Yeah.
would create G-forces that would crush a human pilot.
It's wild. And then you've got that Canadian commercial pilot who not only saw this glowing object approaching his plane, but actually radioed it in.
Wow.
And get this, multiple passengers filmed it.
Oh, wow.
As it suddenly changed direction.
Yeah.
So it's not just one person's word against another.
Right.
We have multiple witnesses. We have radar data.
Yeah.
We have official confirmation.
And video evidence.
Yeah,
that's what makes these cases so compelling.
It does.
These recent cases, I mean, they go beyond just those fuzzy photos and anecdotal stories we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
It's much harder to dismiss them, you know, as misidentified planes or weather phenomena when you have corroborating evidence from all these different sources.
Yeah, it really does feel like we are entering a whole new era of UFO sightings.
Right.
So let's get into the big question.
Okay.
What are these things?
Right.
I mean, of course, the first thing that pops into everyone's mind is aliens, extraterrestrials.
The idea has always captured our imagination.
It has.
And when you look at the capabilities that these objects seem to display, silent propulsion defying gravity, those insane speeds, it's easy to see why people jump to that conclusion.
Yeah.
I mean, this technology seems so far beyond anything that we've achieved.
I have to admit, the thought of alien contact is pretty exciting.
It is.
But let's play devil's advocate for a minute.
Okay.
What if it's not aliens?
Right.
Could this be some top secret project from our government or even another country?
That's definitely a possibility we have to consider.
Right.
Some experts suggest that there could be a hidden technological arms race going on, one that we're just now getting glimpses of.
Oh, wow.
And if that's the case, it raises a whole other set of questions.
It does. Like, what are they working on?
About what kind of technology is being developed and how far ahead are they?
It's almost like a spy thriller playing out right above us.
Yeah.
But okay, aliens, secret government projects.
Right.
What about the skeptics out there?
Right.
Don't some people say this is all just natural phenomena that we don't fully understand yet?
There's always a possibility that some sightings can be explained by unusual atmospheric conditions or meteor showers, even rare astronomical events that we haven't fully studied.
Okay.
But these explanations, they tend to struggle with the more complex, seemingly intelligently controlled movements that have been reported. For example, those sudden right-angle turns that the Navy pilots describe. It's tough to imagine, you know, a weather phenomenon doing that.
It's a good point. It feels like those more complex maneuvers are really what set these recent sightings apart.
Yeah.
It keeps bringing us back to that question.
Right.
Why
now question.
Why are these sightings seemingly increasing now?
It really is at the heart of this whole discussion.
And why is the government's reaction so different?
I mean, People have been reporting strange things in the sky for centuries.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something different happening now.
It's not just grainy photos anymore.
Right.
We have official statements.
Exactly.
Dedicated task forces. Scientists getting involved.
Yeah, the whole conversation has shifted.
It feels like it has.
And to understand this shift, I think it helps to look at historical patterns.
Okay.
There have been periods throughout history where UFO sightings just spiked dramatically. They often coincide with times of heightened societal anxiety or geopolitical tension.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit.
Okay.
Give us that historical context.
Right.
Tell us about some of those past UFO waves and how they relate to what we're seeing now.
Well, one of the most famous examples is the wave of sightings during the Cold War era.
Oh, yeah.
Nuclear anxieties, the space race,
right.
The constant fear of espionage and hidden technologies.
Right.
It was just a time ripe for projecting those anxieties onto the unknown.
Okay, so are you saying that it's all just psychological? People are scared.
There's definitely
see something unusual.
A psychological component to it.
Right.
When we face uncertainty, we tend to look for explanations.
Sure.
And sometimes those explanations venture into the realm of the unknown.
I get it. But this time, it's not just anecdotal reports.
Right.
We have concrete evidence, official confirmation, and a level of government involvement that we haven't seen before.
Exactly. And that shift in the official response is perhaps the most significant aspect of this whole phenomenon.
I think so.
It tells us that something is happening that warrants serious attention.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this whole conversation so compelling.
Okay, so we've got the sightings.
Right.
We've got the theories.
Yeah.
We've got the historical context.
Yeah.
But what does it all mean for us?
Right.
What are the potential implications of all this?
Okay.
Well, let's start with the big one.
Okay.
Extraterrestrial contact.
Yeah.
Imagine if we actually confirmed that some of these UFOs are alien spacecraft.
Yeah.
What would that do to humanity?
The implications are truly mind-boggling.
They are.
I mean, let's just take one aspect. Science.
Okay.
Imagine the scientific revolution.
Yeah.
If we had access to alien technology.
Wow.
Think about fields like propulsion, energy generation materials, science.
It's almost too much to even imagine.
It would be like jumping centuries ahead overnight.
Right. And then there are the religious and philosophical implications.
Right.
How would different belief systems reconcile this new knowledge?
Right.
Would it strengthen faith or challenge it?
That's a question that theologians and philosophers would be grappling with for generations.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, how do our existing frameworks for understanding the universe, the meaning of life, the role of humanity, accommodate the existence of other intelligent beings?
Right.
It would spark intense debate and soul-searching across cultures and religions.
I imagine it would change everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, our little squabbles here on Earth seem so insignificant compared to the vastness of the cosmos.
Right.
And the possibility of other life out there.
Absolutely. It could potentially foster a sense of global unity.
Right.
Recognizing that we're all Earthlings sharing this incredible experience. It could lead to greater cooperation and collaboration, or it could trigger fear and conflict as different groups struggle to adapt to this new reality.
It's that age-old question.
Yeah.
Will we come together or fall apart when faced with the unknown?
It's both exhilarating and terrifying to think about.
It is, and we haven't even touched on the possibility that some of these sightings might be evidence of incredibly advanced technology developed right here on Earth.
Right.
I mean, that has huge implications as well.
It does. It's true.
Even if it's not aliens.
If we've managed to develop technology that can achieve these incredible feats of speed maneuverability and silent flight, I mean, it's a game changer on a fundamental level.
Right.
But then the question becomes, why the secrecy?
Yeah, why the secrecy?
If we have this kind of technology, why isn't it being used to solve global problems or to advance our understanding of the universe?
It makes you wonder about motives and priorities, doesn't it?
It does.
If we can defy gravity and zip around the sky silently, shouldn't we be using that to improve life for everyone?
That's the question that keeps me up at night.
I know.
What are the goals
of
those who control this technology? And are those goals aligned with the best interests of humanity as a whole?
Those are some pretty weighty questions.
They are.
And honestly, it's hard to even know where to begin answering them.
Right.
But what we do know is that this UFO phenomenon, regardless of its ultimate explanation, is pushing us to confront some fundamental questions about ourselves, our place in the universe, and our future.
It's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
A challenge to our assumptions.
Right.
An invitation to expand our thinking.
For sure.
And to consider possibilities that we might have dismissed before.
It's a reminder that we don't have all the answers.
Right.
And that there's still so much we don't know about the world around us, and that's both exciting and a little bit scary at the same time.
I think that's a very accurate way to describe it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a time of great uncertainty.
We are.
But also a time of incredible opportunity.
So we've talked about aliens. We've talked about secret government projects, the psychological and societal impact of all of this.
Yeah.
And even the potential for a global shift in consciousness.
Absolutely.
But there's another aspect I'm really curious about.
Okay.
How are people reacting to all of this?
Right.
On a personal level.
That's a really interesting point. You know, beyond the scientific and political debates, this phenomenon is having a very real impact on people's lives, on their beliefs, on their sense of security.
I can only imagine, for some people, this must be confirmation of what they've always believed, that we're not alone in the universe. But for others, it must be incredibly unsettling, a source of anxiety and fear.
It's important to remember that people process information differently.
Right.
Some are naturally more skeptical, while others are more open to new ideas.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole social media aspect of it.
Oh, yeah?
Which can both amplify and distort the conversation.
Social media is like a giant echo chamber, isn't it?
It is.
One person posts a grainy video, someone else shares it with a sensational headline, and suddenly everyone's talking about alien invasions or government cover-ups.
Right.
It's hard to know what to believe sometimes.
It really is.
It is.
And that's why it's so important to be critical thinkers.
Be critical thinker.
To be discerning about the information we consume.
Okay.
We need to evaluate sources, look for evidence, and be willing to question our own assumptions.
Right.
Don't just take everything you see on the internet at face value.
Right. Do your own research.
Exactly.
Talk to people. Form your own opinions.
Yeah.
But beyond the individual reactions, what about the broader societal implications?
Right.
Could this UFO phenomenon actually lead to some kind of global paradigm shift?
That's a fascinating question.
It is.
If we do confirm the existence of extraterrestrial life, it would fundamentally change our understanding of our place in the universe.
Suddenly realizing that the Earth isn't the center of everything that happened once before.
Yeah.
And it completely changed our worldview.
It would be a paradigm shift of epic proportions.
It would.
It could lead to a more unified perspective, a greater sense of shared humanity, a realization that our differences here on Earth are insignificant compared to the vastness of the cosmos.
It could bring us together as a species, facing outward toward the unknown.
Yeah.
Or it could lead to even greater division and conflict as different groups cling to their existing beliefs and struggle to adapt to this new reality.
It's impossible to predict with certainty how humanity would respond.
Right.
But one thing is clear.
What's that?
This UFO phenomenon, regardless of its ultimate explanation, is forcing us to confront some of the biggest questions we've ever faced as a species.
It's like we're standing on the edge of something truly momentous, a turning point in human history.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
The UFO phenomenon is a catalyst for change.
Right.
A challenge to our assumptions, an invitation to expand our consciousness.
It's a reminder that the universe is full of mysteries.
Absolutely.
Full of possibilities that we can barely begin to imagine.
Right.
And honestly, that's what makes this whole conversation so fascinating, so compelling.
It is a journey into the unknown.
Yeah.
A quest for truth, a search for meaning.
Right.
And it's a journey that we're all taking together, whether we realize it or not.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
It's a journey we're all on together.
We are. Yeah, it really is a remarkable time to be alive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're grappling with questions that humanity has pondered for millennia. And now these questions are moving from just speculation into the realm of tangible evidence, potential discovery.
It's definitely a time of great intellectual ferment.
It is.
As we go deeper into this UFO phenomenon,
Yeah.
I keep coming back to this idea.
Okay.
that even if these objects turn out to be advanced technology developed by humans,
right,
it still raises a profound question.
It does. What is it?
Why the secrecy?
The secrecy.
Why the secrecy?
The level of secrecy surrounding these potential technological advancements is one of the most perplexing aspects of this whole phenomenon.
If we have the capability to build craft that can move like these objects, why keep it hidden?
Right.
What purpose does that secrecy serve?
It makes you wonder.
It does.
If there's a fear of disrupting the status quo.
Right. Like imagine the economic and social upheaval. If suddenly we had access to technology that could say, provide unlimited clean energy.
Wow.
Or allow us to travel at hypersonic speeds.
That would revolutionize our world. And not everyone would welcome that change.
Right.
I mean, there are powerful interests that are invested in maintaining the current systems of energy production, transportation, even global power dynamics.
It's like those sci-fi movies where a revolutionary technology is suppressed because it threatens the profits of a powerful corporation.
Exactly.
Or the control of a ruling elite.
Yeah.
I always thought that was just a fictional trope.
Right.
But maybe there's a grain of truth to it.
It's certainly worth considering.
Yeah.
It raises some uncomfortable questions about who controls these advanced technologies?
Right.
And what their motives are?
Yeah, what are their motives?
Are they being developed for the benefit of all humanity?
Right.
Or are they being used to further consolidate power and control?
You know, it's funny. I was reading an article about the history of UFO sightings.
Yeah.
And it mentioned how the wave of sightings in the 1950s coincided with the development of the jet engine and the nuclear bomb.
Oh, wow.
People were seeing things in the sky that they couldn't explain.
Right.
And their minds naturally went to the most advanced technology they could imagine at the time.
That's a great example of how our perception of the unknown is often shaped by the context of our current technological understanding. We tend to project our own fears and aspirations onto what we don't understand.
So is it possible?
It's possible
that we're seeing something similar happening now?
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the midst of a technological revolution.
Right.
With advancements in artificial intelligence, robotics, and materials science happening at an unprecedented pace.
Yeah.
Is it so crazy to think that some of these UFO sightings
I think so.
might be glimpses of technology that's just a few steps ahead of what we publicly know?
It's not crazy at all.
Okay.
In fact, I think it's a very plausible explanation.
Yeah.
We need to remember that what we see as cutting-edge technology today might seem quaint and outdated in just a few years.
Right. I mean, think about how much technology has changed.
Exactly.
In just the past decade.
Yeah.
Smartphones, social media, self-driving cars, things that seem like science fiction not too long ago are now part of our everyday lives.
Exactly.
So it's not a stretch to imagine that there are classified projects happening right now that are developing technologies that would seem utterly impossible to the average person.
To the average person on the street.
Okay, so let's say for the sake of argument that some of these UFO sightings are indeed evidence of advanced human technology.
Right.
What are the implications of that?
Okay.
Beyond the obvious stuff, like revolutionizing transportation and energy production.
Well, one of the most significant implications in my mind is the potential for widening the gap between those who have access to this technology and those who don't.
Right.
I mean, if these advancements are being kept secret and controlled by a select few, it could create an unprecedented power imbalance.
Like a sci-fi dystopia.
Right.
Where the elite have access to incredible technologies
that
give them almost godlike power, while the rest of humanity is left struggling with the same old problems.
It's a sobering thought.
It is.
And it raises some fundamental ethical questions.
Like what?
About the distribution of knowledge and the responsibility of those who possess advanced technologies.
It's like that old saying.
What is it?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
But sometimes it seems like the responsibility part gets lost along the way.
Unfortunately, that's often the case.
It is.
And it's something we need to be very mindful of.
Yeah.
As we navigate this uncharted territory.
Okay, but let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
And consider the possibility that some of these sightings are actually evidence of extraterrestrial technology.
Okay.
I mean, that takes the conversation to a whole other level, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
The idea of alien contact is so profound, so potentially transformative,
it is,
that it's difficult to even grasp the full scope of its implications.
It's like trying to imagine a color you've never seen before. It's beyond our current frame of reference.
Exactly.
But we can speculate. We can extrapolate from what we know about ourselves and about the universe. And one of the most compelling questions is this.
Okay, what is it?
What would it mean for our understanding of science?
Right.
If we encountered an alien civilization with technology far exceeding our own?
Wow.
It would be like getting a glimpse into a future we can barely imagine. I mean, think about those Navy pilot reports.
Right.
If those objects were truly alien spacecraft, the technology they were using to move like that would be revolutionary.
Imagine the advancements in fields. Like physics, propulsion, energy generation.
Wow.
It would be like unlocking a treasure trove of knowledge. It could propel us forward centuries.
It's like those scenes in sci-fi movies.
Right.
Where humans make contact with an advanced alien civilization, and suddenly they have access to technologies that solve all their problems and usher in a new era of peace and prosperity.
Well, while that's a hopeful scenario, we have to be realistic. Contact with an alien civilization, even a benevolent one, would likely be far more complex and challenging than we can imagine.
Right. It wouldn't be all sunshine and roses.
It wouldn't.
There would be cultural differences, communication barriers, and perhaps even fundamental differences in our understanding of the universe.
Exactly.
And we'd have to consider the possibility that not all alien civilizations would be friendly or have our best interests at heart. Okay, so we've got the scientific implications, the potential for both conflict and cooperation, and a whole universe of unknowns to contend with.
A whole universe.
But what about the psychological and spiritual impact of alien contact?
Right.
I mean, how would we as a species process the knowledge that we are not alone in the universe?
That's perhaps the most profound question of all.
It is.
For millennia, we've looked up at the stars and wondered if there was anyone else out there. To actually confirm the existence of extraterrestrial life would shake the very foundations of our beliefs and our understanding of ourselves.
It would be a moment of existential reckoning, wouldn't it? Everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe would be called into question.
It would force us to confront some fundamental questions.
Yeah, like what?
About the meaning of life, the purpose of our existence, the nature of consciousness itself.
You know, it's interesting. In some ways, the idea of alien contact is both comforting and terrifying.
It is.
At the same time.
Yeah.
It's comforting to think that we're not alone in this vast universe, that there might be other intelligent beings out there who have grappled with the same questions we have. But it's also terrifying to think that we might be utterly insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things.
A tiny speck of life on a backwater planet.
It's a humbling thought.
It is.
To realize that our little corner of the cosmos is not the center of everything.
Right.
That there might be civilizations out there far more advanced than our own.
With knowledge and technologies that we can barely comprehend.
It makes you wonder what those civilizations might think of us.
I know.
Would they see us as a promising young species with the potential for greatness? Or would they see us as a destructive force? A threat to ourselves and to the planet?
It's impossible to say, of course. But it's a question worth pondering.
It is.
And it highlights the importance of self-reflection and the need to consider the consequences of our actions. Not just for ourselves, but for the future of our planet. And potentially for the future of our species' interaction with other intelligent life.
You know, I keep thinking about those famous words from Carl Sagan.
Oh, yeah?
The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself.
That's a beautiful quote.
It is.
And it speaks to the interconnectedness
of everything in the universe. I mean, we are all part of this vast cosmic web. And our actions ripple outward, affecting the whole
So whether these UFO sightings are evidence of alien visitors or advanced human technology, they are forcing us to confront some profound truths
they are.
about ourselves and our place in the universe.
They are challenging us to expand our thinking, to question our assumptions, and to consider possibilities that we might have dismissed before.
And ultimately, they are reminding us that the universe is full of wonders and mysteries.
It is.
And that the journey of discovery is just beginning.
Absolutely.
So as we start to wrap up our deep dive into this whole UFO thing, there's one question that just keeps coming back to me. It's that why now question.
Right.
Why does it seem like these sightings are happening more and more? And why is the government reacting so differently this time?
That why now question, that is the mystery behind the mystery.
It is.
And honestly, there are no easy answers.
Right.
But, there are a few theories that I find particularly interesting.
Okay, lay 'em on me.
Okay, well, one theory that's gaining traction is that our technology has just advanced to the point where we're simply better at detecting these objects.
Okay.
We have more sophisticated radar systems, more sensitive cameras, more people carrying smartphones that can capture high-quality video.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like we've finally developed the tools to see what's always been there.
Lurking just beyond our perception.
And
then there's also the possibility that something has shifted on the other side.
What do you mean?
Like on their end.
Oh, on their end.
Maybe there's been an increase in extraterrestrial activity around us.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe some new technology has been deployed.
Right.
That makes them more visible, more detectable to us.
That's possible.
It's like a cosmic game of hide and seek.
Yeah.
Where both sides are upping their game.
That is a great analogy.
Thanks.
But we can't forget about the shift.
Yeah, the shift.
In the government's response.
It's huge.
But it's a huge piece of the puzzle.
Why are they suddenly taking this so seriously after decades of denial and dismissal?
I mean, it's not like people haven't been reporting strange things in the sky for generations.
Exactly. So what's changed?
Well, I think a big part of it is just the sheer volume and credibility of these recent sightings. I mean, we're not talking about a few isolated incidents anymore.
Right.
We have multiple witnesses, radar data, high-quality video footage, and even official confirmation from the Pentagon.
It's pretty hard to sweep that under the rug.
It's hard to sweep all that under the rug and pretend it's not happening.
And then there's the growing awareness
that
this is a global phenomenon.
Exactly.
This isn't just happening here in the United States. We're seeing credible reports from all over the world.
From all over the world.
Including from military personnel and commercial pilots.
Exactly.
So it's becoming really difficult to just dismiss this as some American obsession with UFOs.
You got it.
So we've got a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah.
Governments are starting to realize that they can't ignore it anymore.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more to it.
Right.
What about the geopolitical angle? We talked about the possibility of advanced foreign technology.
Right.
Could that be playing a role
absolutely.
In the government's change of heart?
The possibility of advanced technology, whether it's extraterrestrial or human-made, poses a potential threat that can't be ignored. If there are other nations out there, or even non-human entities with technology that surpasses our own, it has serious implications.
It is.
For national security and global stability.
It's like that scene in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
When the government realizes they're not the top dog anymore.
Right.
They're suddenly playing catch-up.
Yeah.
They don't even know who they're competing with.
It's a scenario that is both fascinating and unsettling.
It is.
And I think it's a big part of why governments are finally taking this seriously.
Okay.
They're realizing that they need to understand what's going on to assess the potential threats and the opportunities.
So it's a combination of factors.
It is.
The credibility of these recent sightings, the global nature of the phenomenon, and the potential geopolitical implications.
Yeah.
It's all come together to create this perfect storm.
It has.
That's forced this shift in the official narrative.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's a good thing.
I think so too.
We need open and honest dialogue about this.
We do.
We need more research, more transparency, and more collaboration.
Yeah.
If we're going to unravel this mystery, we need to work together.
I couldn't agree more. The truth is out there, as they say.
It is.
And it's time we started looking for it.
Yeah.
Seriously, without fear or prejudice.
Without fear or prejudice.
Who knows what we might discover?
As we continue down this path of discovery, we need to remember that we are dealing with the unknown.
Right.
We need to be open to possibilities that challenge our current understanding of how the world works.
Right.
We need to be prepared to have our assumptions shattered and our paradigms shifted.
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It is.
We're on the cusp of something truly momentous. And it all started with those strange lights in the sky.
Those strange lights in the sky.
Who knows where this will lead?
I know, right?
But one thing is for sure.
What's that?
The universe is full of wonders.
It is.
And we're only just beginning to scratch the surface.
We are.
Well said.
Yeah.
So to all of you deep divers out there, keep looking up.
Keep looking up.
Keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions.
And keep an open mind.
Absolutely.
The truth is out there somewhere.
It is.
Just waiting to be discovered.
Waiting to be discovered.
Who knows, maybe one day we'll look back at this time as the moment when everything changed.
Right.
The moment humanity finally realized that we are not alone in the universe.
That is a thought that is both exhilarating and terrifying.
It is.
But hey, that's what makes this whole journey so incredible.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Into the mysteries of the UFO phenomena.
Absolutely.
Until next time. Go keep exploring the unknown.
Keep exploring.
And keep wondering about the world around us.
That's right.